Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, may peace and blessings be upon us all. Your Excellency, Mr. Guy Parmelan, Vice President and Federal Counselor of the Swiss Confederation, Head of the Federal Department of Economic Affairs, Education and Research. Thank you for your wonderful and inspiring remarks. And thank you for visiting Indonesia. We had a very productive and fruitful bilateral meeting discussion just now, and hopefully this conference will bring real impacts for both Indonesia and Switzerland. Excellency Ms. Simone de Montmollin, National Councillor, Member of the National Council of Switzerland, Excellency Olivier Zender, Ambassador of Switzerland to Indonesia, Timor-Leste and ASEAN, Excellency Andrea Robert-Saxer, Ambassador and Head of Bilateral Economic Relations Division, State Secretariat for Economic Affairs, and one of the best ambassadors that Indonesia has, His Excellency Ikede Ngurah Swajaya, distinguished CEOs of Swiss and Indonesian companies, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to join you today at the Innovative Solutions in Infrastructure Development Conference 2025. This is not only a forum to reaffirm our friendship, but also an opportunity to chart a new course of collaboration, one that focuses on building a green, resilient, and smart future together. When I think of Switzerland, I don't only think of precision, of innovation, or of natural beauty. For me, Switzerland is also tied to a very personal experience early in my political career. In 2017, after an intense political campaign in Jakarta, I traveled with my family to Switzerland. And as many of you here would understand, after such a campaign, whether you win or lose, in my case, I lost the election. So you need a moment to recharge, to reflect, to rise stronger. So we flew to Europe and landed in Geneva. Then we drove to Zermatt with its iconic Toblerone-shaped mountain. From there, we continued on to Interlaken, to Bern, and finally to Zurich. Beautiful, just beautiful. They are definitely places you must visit before you die. So I was so glad that I picked Switzerland as my healing destination. But it was Zermatt that stayed with me the most. A small town where no cars are allowed, where the only sounds we can hear are footsteps on the streets, and the only air you breathe is just fresh mountain air. That journey gave me peace. It gave me perspective. It gave me inspiration. It was a healing trip, a reminder that a renewal is always possible. And that is why today feels so meaningful. Because Switzerland, for me, is not only a place of beauty and reflection, it is also one of Indonesia's most trusted partners in Europe. And just as I found renewal in Switzerland years ago, I believe our two nations can continue to renew and strengthen our friendship for the benefit of our peoples and for the future we share together. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, for Indonesia, infrastructure is the backbone of our national growth. With more than 17,000 islands and 280 million people, infrastructure is not just about roads, ports, or airports. It is about connecting people, reducing inequality, and creating opportunities. But in today's world, infrastructure must go further. It must be green to reduce emissions and protect the environment. It must be resilient, ready for climate change and disasters, and it must be smart, using digital innovation to make it more efficient and inclusive. These are the principles guiding us toward the vision of Golden Indonesia 2045, when we aspire to stand among the world's top economies. Ladies and gentlemen, Switzerland is admired worldwide for precision engineering, efficient transport, sustainable urban planning, and clean technologies. While Indonesia offers immense opportunities, a growing economy, a strategic location, and a huge demand for infrastructure, put together, Swiss expertise and Indonesian opportunities are a perfect match. Together, we can create solutions that are not only profitable, but also sustainable, inclusive, and environmentally transformative. Let me highlight 5 areas where I see the strongest potential for collaboration. First, sustainable energy. Indonesia has abundant geothermal, solar, and hydropower. With Swiss innovation in smart grids and energy storage, we can accelerate the energy transition and deliver reliable, low-carbon power. Second, green and smart cities. As Indonesia urbanizes, livable and sustainable cities are essential. Swiss expertise in eco-planning, digital twins, and IoT sensors can help us manage mobility, conserve water, and even predict disasters. Third, resilient transport systems. Switzerland's railway inspire us. Indonesia is developing metro and rail systems with low-carbon solutions. Collaborations on electric buses, trams, and autonomous mobility will make our transport greener and more efficient. Fourth, water and waste solutions. Our coastal communities face rising seas and floods. Swiss innovations in water management, flood control, and waste-to-energy can safeguard lives and livelihoods. And fifth, last but not least, blue economy infrastructure. With our long coastlines, Indonesia has vast potential in ports, fisheries, and marine renewable energy. Swiss companies can play a vital role in driving innovation in this critical sector. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we know that investors do not just look at opportunities. They look for clarity, for certainty, for security, for confidence. That is why Indonesia has taken bold steps to reform. We are simplifying regulations to make it easier and more predictable to do business. We have established our new sovereign wealth fund, Danantara. I think we've met the CEO of Nusantara before, yeah, Mr. Minister Roshan, and expanded public-private partnerships, building transparent and credible platforms for collaboration. And we have also developed special economic zones and industrial corridors, offering tailored incentives and reliable infrastructure. And why invest now? Because Indonesia is entering a historic window of transformation. We are projected to become the world's 4th largest economy by 2045. Our middle class is expanding rapidly, driving both consumption and innovation. And our government, under President Prabowo, is accelerating food, energy, and water security, supported by sustainable infrastructure, the very foundations of long-term growth. So our message is simple, ladies and gentlemen. Indonesia is not only open for business, we are open for partnership that creates values, resilience, and shared prosperity. Infrastructure is not just bricks, steel, and concrete. It is the future we are building, one that is inclusive, sustainable, and resilient. By combining Indonesia's scale and ambition with Switzerland's expertise and innovation, we can set a new benchmark for infrastructure, one that is green, resilient, and smart. Let us turn ideas into partnerships, partnerships into projects, projects into shared prosperity. The future of infrastructure is being built today, and let us build it together. Thank you, terima kasih, mercy. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.